So hello and welcome to the fourth episode of Nightmare Down Under, the GearCity Let's Play where we play Down Under in Australia on Nightmare difficulty. We started in 1900, now it is August 1907. We just put something on the market and that was the new up or the new facelifted Phaeton, which will now sell for the same as the old one but it's much cheaper to manufacture. One thing we should check before put it on the market, I'm just thinking of this, is a price gouging penalty. That may be here, yes it is here, because our unit costs are 558, probably a bit more since we haven't really started producing this yet, but so for some cars, especially Phaetons, there is a certain penalty when you sell it for too much. And I think we just fell victim of that. It's still there? I suspect this will go away once we start producing. So now it's away, but I think the unit costs are going away. Let's see. In the worst case, yeah, when we're not selling much, and that'll be easily rectified. More importantly, we're going to get our larger factory in the next month, so then we can see where we can adjust prices and overall produce more. And equally important, we don't have any research going on at the moment. So, no development. So let's see what we should do next. So how popular are the different car bodies right now in Australia? So we have a Phaeton, a sedan, a touring, a 2+2 and a coupe. We don't really have an engine for sports. So the next up would be luxury sedan or full-size sedan. And either one needs to be on a larger platform than our current a 2.4 meter platform. So we need a new platform, one way or another. So a new ladder frame. We stick with front engine rear wheel drive because it's the best compromise in terms of cost and performance. We still use double live axe leaf springs because there is no competition yet, so we don't have to worry about being fancy with something like independent suspension. So let's make it a 2.8 meter and also a bit wider than the old one, or the medium-sized one. So what do they value? And I'm going with the full-size sedan here. So luxury, safety, power, fuel, cargo space. That's the important thing. So frame height affects strength. And strength determines improves safety, dependability, and also beneficial for vehicles with large cargo spaces. So we probably keep it here. This can be a bit more expensive actually. That's no big deal. We don't care about weight. We probably will have smaller engines anyway. Otherwise, as usual, slide us to minimum acceptable quality, and then we work our way up. And here the same. Because I want to reuse this chassis for more than just a large sedan, so it's not necessarily something where we'll add some more luxury stuff. I want to also keep costs under control at least. So braking as usual is very beneficial to do since it doesn't cost much and gets lots of extra stats. So they like luxury means comfort. They don't mind performance that much, so we can actually go or put very high emphasis on comfort. A little bit of performance is fine. So 6 months is also fine. What we can also think of is dependability just a little bit, so that we at least get 3.5 stars. And put the rest of the time and effort into comfort. So here we're going into 7 months. Although this is dirt cheap, so it doesn't matter. So let's put comfort up here too. So that's a chassis with a different focus, so it's longer. It's stronger than what we have before. It's also more dependable, and there's a big emphasis on comfort over performance. So that's a new large platform. So chassis, 2.8 meter wheelbase. It's our first ladder frame, 6 months till early 1908. That's nice. Okay, engine. So we need something larger here as well. What it should also do, though, is fit our medium wheelbase chassis so that we can then mix and match engines again. So maybe we double the amount of cylinders. So here we get 10 horsepower for the same stats and 272 in material cost. It would fit. So this is fine. This is also fine. 50 I think is sensible. Can actually get some more fuel economy out of this too. So that looks something that could be feasible, but is it the best? So let's first give an estimation on the full-size sedan. We have to use the old gearbox, but it doesn't really matter. So top speed 52, fuel consumption 17.8, that's actually not that bad. Can we make it larger? Probably don't have to, but we could then reduce the revolutions a bit, or the torque. So the other chassis actually fits stuff quite nicely. I think the torque is actually going to be pretty useful. If we make it larger, the only thing we get is more fuel consumption, so that's not really that effective. The other idea, and I'm going to revert to the previous one because that's very easy, and save it so that we can easily compare it. So a 1 liter 4-cylinder. I think pre-war 4-cylinders weren't that common. So something like this. There's something more to be squeezed out here. So again, full-size sedan, new chassis. Wrong gearbox. 17.5. Top speed 50. So let's save this as the 1050. 7.6 fuel economy for 280. Let's try something else so we can remember. So this was 17.5 in fuel economy. The other idea would be just make the engine twice as large, but keep the 2-cylinder. So we of course stay under square somewhat, so something like this. Still fits. So if I want to go for, I can't even get to 10 horsepower. Here. Okay, then it's a 1.1 liter, so that we keep the performance the same. Some more fuel economy to ring out. So full-size sedan, 2.8, 18.9. So it has actually more fuel consumption, but it's cheaper, and that's the argument for putting this into something else. If we have a bit less power, so how much power do we have in the old one? That's a 5. So if we just go for 9, does this... What's killing our fuel economy? Oh, here can we go maximum? 18.4, still worse. But again, cheaper. Can we make it larger? That it still fits. Oh yeah, can do that. Question is, does this help? Oh, we can get a lot of fuel economy here. 19.5 with the 10 horsepower, so the 4-cylinder is actually more fuel efficient, just the cost difference is a bit striking. So this would be we save both, so 10, 50, 8, 4, 2, 2, 8, and that's the 1462 cc. And the other idea would simply make a can we adjust things here, the 1 liter. And if maybe 8.8 is fine. 17.1. So maybe that's okay. Maybe we don't need a huge engine anyway. So how about why did it flip to 8? So maybe some dramatically under square. This was, I think, pretty typical of engines at that time, that they were very under square. So I think torque 39 is something we should do. 16.8, whoa. Yeah, I think that's sensible, because they also like fuel economy in the full-size sedan. So it fits. Then I don't have to actually compare, because that's clearly better. So it looks like that especially the 2-cylinder gets pretty inefficient once we go past a certain displacement. So this is probably at the upper edge of the envelope when it still makes sense in terms of economic viability. We can just look how expensive was the 4-cylinder. So ignore some of the stuff that are other test builds. So it was the 280. Yeah, this is $50 cheaper, so that's definitely an argument. Well, we can also think about add a little bit of dependability for not too much extra cost, so something like this maybe. So 839. $16.7 fuel economy. This doesn't really change. Top speed 46 is, I think, fine. So that's on our new engine. So it's a 895 cc. 6, can we get 6 months? Easy. So that's that. And let's build a new gearbox. So 3-speed with reverse gear. So better than the 2-speed. Again, low-end gearing can go down. Max torque input is something we can actually play with, because it is pretty cheap reliability. Everything else to the minimum, and then let's see how things work. So shifting ease again, actually putting something into that, so that we get 2.5 stars, because this is luxury after all. So maximum torque input, this doesn't make it more expensive, or not much more expensive. We're going into more manufacturing requirements, but we're also gaining reliability. So 15, 20, yeah. Not too worried about the manufacturing requirements now that we're going to get a new factory, and we've almost reached the limit of the number and type of cars that we're going to produce based on the list, how big the demand is. But anyway, so it works with the engine, and let's tune for top speed. 46, 45, 46, depending on 49. So this is 47, so this is better in any way. I think the 49 was an outlier. We're getting a 46 with something. And here we don't. So this is probably fine. And here with 45, yeah, 45 is too low. Still seeing a 46. And here I see mostly 47s. So I think here is fine, and it doesn't really worth the fretting over too much. Tweaks here. Gearbox dependability, this is I think even more expensive in terms of manufacturing requirements for reliability, so the maximum torque input I think is simply something that we can do. So again, 6 months. Not the cheapest gearbox, but that's why we're going to put it into the more expensive cars first. So it's a transmission, 3-speed, non-synchronous reverse gear. Okay, so then let's see how the new Phaeton sells, and then we have to reorganize production anyway. Yep, so it fell victim of the price gouging penalty. Alright. No big deal. Couple of missed sales for the others, and that doesn't matter either, because now we can reorganize production accordingly. And sales, so let's first adjust the Phaeton price. Price gouging penalty, although sometimes this goes away when I say apply. Here it's still there. Here it's also still there. So this will be dirt cheap, or has to be dirt cheap. Here it's gone, so I'm going one below. So this has to be the maximum price, and we're going to sell it to a ton of people. So this is probably then Australia's Model T, so to speak. I'm moving, so I'm probably moving this one to Melbourne. And the rest is Sydney. So complete reorganization. Because here I'm going to need a ton of cars. So if I guessed this correctly, this is something like 300, 600, 900. So what I can probably do already is expand Melbourne without even having looked into anything. So 4 more lines for 2.5 million I think is a bargain, and we need this. And we have plenty of cash, so that's no worry anymore. And then we try to squeeze everything else into Sydney based on the most recent sales figures. So we have 160 Grand Coupes with some wiggle room for more, or we have to have less. Let's see how this plays out. 180 sedans. We even have reserves. I think I have to be a bit more skimpy. Coupe is same ballpark. Can I recondition Sydney? Or can I recondition everything? That probably hasn't much of an effect. 27,000 is very cheap, so not much is going to happen there. 172 coupes, that works, and 225 tourings, so I suspect I need... yeah. So this is, again, barely sufficient. Maybe we don't need all of these, but I want to see it for next round, and then we can shift things around accordingly. So we are expanding Melbourne, and we can't expand Sydney, right? So upgrade, no, 2 lines for 3.5 million doesn't make sense. So what we're going to do here is redesign. So 11 lines for some more technology. And that's going to finish in late 1909. So I think this is a decent level of technology. And we have the cash for that as well, so let's do the redesign here. So our new 3 components are in the works of 5 months, factory is upgraded, sales are reorganized, and then we simply have to see how what things are in terms of capacity. There's something red, decline in sales because of the economic issues in the news. So let's check the news. More sports in Europe. We aren't in Europe. So sales are actually helped us, because otherwise we would have probably produced too much. Cornering scheme crashes Wall Street. So that's affecting things. So sales look fine. Slowly building reserves, nothing outrageously overproducing, except for the Phaeton. So that's probably a bit too optimistic. So we can phase out 3 lines, so we have 3 lines extra. And then probably have then to move something to Melbourne at some point, but not at the moment. Because I want to see how these sales play out otherwise, or whether we have to lower prices, which isn't bad, of course not. Because especially the Grand Coupe is pretty expensive. But yeah, let's wait for a normal month and then see how things are going. Yeah, so here nothing has changed really. What we can do is reduce a couple prices. Can slash things across the board. So the touring goes down to, let's make 3 clicks for all. Let's not be discriminate. And let's see where we are. Components in 3. New contract requests, nothing for us. We still win best cars because we don't have competition yet. They probably they at least could arrive before the war, so sort of ready. Okay, so the Peking to Paris racing is ended. And I think, yeah, we got not that much out of it. Simply put our name on the list. New competition, but not here. So sales have picked up nicely, so that was useful, although not that useful. I think we are somewhere still the upper curve of the price range. So maybe 1 click more and then see how things play out. We have nice unit costs for all of them, so we can simply make this car thing more affordable for everyone. We're losing a little bit of money, despite rebuilding 2 factories. Okay, so now we have a nice break even in terms of sales and what we produce. So this factory upgrade wasn't necessary, but probably the economy is going to be picking up anyway. And they already are. So at the moment it's fine, and this may change. So research complete. Yearly sales, let's see where things are in the statistics. There is now a van and a few new car bodies. So top sales last 12 months. Oh, both Phaetons. Yeah, we had the model change and the touring, so that works. So both Phaeton together will be 6,000 something. They would be here, top 10-ish. That's nice. all-time sales. So there, I think the 22,000. So that's top 20-ish. So that did a nice job. Company directory. We are in the top 12 of car manufacturers. That's nice. We're also making a nice profit. So, platform is ready. So then let's build our full-size sedan. Because again, I'm pretty skeptical of the luxury sedan with our terrible skills. It will also take very long to all the sliders to the right. So all the new components. Yeah, so that looks like a good full-size sedan. This is maybe a bit too small. So the Dorchia, 1078 cargo. That's smaller. Yeah, 990. That's a new style, which we don't have yet. This is huge. That's probably a bit meme-ish. 1165. This looks good. So a bit of a box, and then a bit of a larger box in the back. This is a meme car. I'm not entertaining this in terms of size. This is smaller. This looks cool, but it's probably also that's reasonably small. This could not. 976 is also small. 1062. $1201. I think I'm a fan of this. 1078. No, this one. 1165. Because it has the enhanced rear part. Yeah, so then use this. They like luxury, so we can put the sliders just a little bit lower. Or a little bit higher than usual for the initial set of sliders. They like safety, but we'll get to that later. So again, male upper middle. Market demographic makes things worse. So I think they like reliability. Actually not that much, interestingly. 25, 26, 26, so that's that. They like cargo. 27. Like their performance. Not that much. 28, still. Neat. Safety. 28. 29. So this does something in terms of overall stuff, but not that much. Can I? Nope. These are actually pretty nice at the point where they flip. And this probably takes long enough anyway. 12 months. 11. Yeah, I'm simply going to leave the rest for the first facelift. So this is good. Manufacturing techniques, yeah. So these sliders are actually good. So what do we get? So 16.7 fuel consumption. I think this is pretty good for a full size. Top speed 45. That's in line with everything else. 8 horsepower. So this is the Australis 8. The 8 sedan. Okay, put it into development. So next month we're going to get the factory expansion we don't really need. but things are probably going to be picking up again, such as now. Yeah, so I can one more sedan, one more touring, one more normal coupe. That means shifting things around a bit. So I need 3 lines. So the touring goes to Melbourne. $250 plus. And for the others, so 200 sedan, 5 coupe, the Grand Coupe. It's simply, I think, simply a bit expensive. Doesn't have to be. So if we go something like this, we can probably sell a couple more. And I'm anticipating that. So Sydney is in the works for 22 months. So this is our limit anyway. So now we have to start playing with prices. Or move another production over here. But now our hierarchy of prices makes sense again. So we have a dirt cheap Phaeton. Then we have the touring, so the open top. For a little bit more they get a closed top coupe. For even more they get the closed top Grand Coupe with a smaller rear bench, and then for our currently most expensive car is the sedan with the 2 full rows. So this is sensible. Positive cash flow despite, okay, it's only 1 factory now. No, we're still not selling that many Grand Coupes, so that's then okay. But we're selling off Phaeton reserves. So I'm letting them build some reserves, except for the Grand Coupe. Probably the most unpopular one anyway. Touring sells nicely, so I need to make more tourings. I know I could switch to auto production, but I rather want to see how things evolve and just a few modifications. At least also give me the feeling of actually doing something and not letting my underlings do all the job. New contract requests, nothing for us. 7 months till we get. Now 6 months till we get the full-size sedan, and we have actually space for it to produce. That's nice. Things are still fine, so slowly can think of starting making more Phaetons. How are our unit costs? Melbourne is excellent, 140, that's brilliant, and Sydney 173 isn't bad either. Yep, so Phaeton production is also very good. Can make a few less 5 coupes and tourings. Okay, make the touring cheaper. This looks great. Can make more tourings. It was just a bit of a dip that we needn't have followed. Full-size sedan in 4. Phaeton sales are picking up. Yeah, so we need to make more Phaetons, definitely. And everything else is also picking up nicely. So we still have two production lines in Melbourne. That will probably be barely enough to produce the full-size sedan. So 200 grand coupes. 222 5 coupes. Touring is fine, and 230 sedans. So we're nicely utilizing almost all the capacity here. No contracts for us. Still best car of the country. And the racing series, some new competition overseas. So next month we're going to get the full-size sedan. That's great. And here everything is fine. Sales a bit of a dip again, but I'm keeping the production as it is. So let's put it on the market. So we are selling our 5 for 18.15, so something like this. 32, 31, that was one last bar. 28. Yeah, so this seems to be a decent sweet spot, and that's something like 100 that we need to produce for starters. So let's see. We probably won't need that many, but then maybe we can make do with one production line after that. Okay, what else to do? So we won't have any extra production capacity for 12 months, but that's no big deal. That's the time we'd need to engineer something new anyway. So, what's popular? We have a sedan, Phaeton, Touring, 2+2, Coupe, and full-sized. Again, I'm pretty skeptical about the luxury. What we could do on the large platform is a pickup truck, which has a pretty low demand, but we can maybe make it rather cheap. Maybe not quite yet. So things usually get cheaper once you have produced a few things, so that we maybe do a facelift of some of the other things, and then we get back to creating a pickup truck. So how expensive would it be to... No, let's just check what could be facelifted. The sedan is getting a bit along the tooth, so rating has dropped to 27. So we can give the platform a makeover, which we haven't, or the chassis. We haven't done that yet. We just have given the other two parts makeover when we did the new coupe. So a major modification for the chassis. Engine. Oh, we're still getting more torque, so that's actually worth doing. And reliability. Torque is the same, fuel economy, so significant is fine. And gearbox. I think significant is also fine. Major doesn't add much. So then let's give our sedan facelift. Keep the components, they're just all updated. This is the sedan. New body, question mark. Let's check. So here it doesn't do anything. So if the new body is better, then cargo would be 30, or the over ranking would be 31. What do we have? This is all stuff we had before. There's this new style, which we haven't used anywhere. I think we don't need to, so we had this clockwood. So what we could do is go with something like this. That is a bit similar to our full-size sedan, and that this is a bit antiquated. So this has 974. So it should be larger at least. This is smaller. These are all tiny. This is a bit larger. 905. I think the other effect is, so aero factor, top speed 40. And then 41, that's not that much better actually. So this had 905. Don't want to make it smaller. $870, no, not really. This is probably also smaller, 837, yeah. So this clockwork thing I think is pretty good in terms of stats. Yeah, some more stuff down here. But there's all this new this other style. And we are a bit conservative. This looks more like a full size almost. And it's also small. No, we keep the clockwood. That's fine for the time being. So then we are very conservative and not even updating the body. So utility. No, they don't want more performance. They might want more interior quality. So if I push all these sliders a little bit further, does this have any effect? Otherwise I'm probably starting over. Not really. That's a massive push. Anyway, safety? No. There we go. So some more safety, some more cargo, a little bit more luxury, not much. A very controlled increase in luxury. Overhaul, 4 months. So top speed still 40, still 5 horsepower. So it's still a 5 sedan, just a new generation. And it's better again than the old one. Alright, then let's see how things sell, including the new full-size one. And we have to look at the press. Oh, we didn't put it into production. Good morning. 117. At least we know that answer now. The rest is fine. A couple more tourings. Sydney. No. Ah, I put the 5 sedan into production, not the 8 sedan. That's why. So one line is a bit too little. We can try and make it cheaper again. And I need more tourings. So we probably have plenty of 5 sedans, which I can start to sunset actually. So that's probably then. No, that's the wrong one. That's the right one. So 157 that we get the reserves down. And 117. Would making it cheaper make a difference? So let's check the yearly sales. There is now an 8-speed gearbox, but we can't build it yet. Not that we wanted to. So top 50 sales. Nice. The Phaeton, the Touring, and the Sedan now make all the top 50. 8,200. So that's top. Is that top 10? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, top 10. All vehicles. How are we doing in terms of sales figures? So we're keeping, and this is also easy top 10. So in these early days, this rapid expansion has worked wonders. So now we're really going to sell our full-size sedan. Had a little bit more, so that's okay. 10 more cars. And making motorings, that's good. So rest is great. 2 months, and we can now sunset the 5 sedan, the regular one. And that's simply by essentially cutting production. And the rest is picking up. Can make the Phaeton maybe a bit one click cheaper, if that makes a difference. So then, yeah, none left and only 9 missed sales, so that was great. Okay, we're selling less Phaetons because we made it cheaper. That works. So we can cut production and increase the price again. So the 1904 5 sedan goes away. The 1909 5 sedan goes into production. 190. Yeah, that's the increase in manufacturing requirements. So I think price is fine. Can sell for a bit more because it's better. And then stop production of the old one. Maybe also give the Touring an upgrade, because it's also so slowly getting a bit outdated, and they can also benefit from the new components. So 690 was the material cost, so the same costs. And we can make it better. So they love performance, yes they do. And some more reliability at 29 overall is okay. Cargo 33. Do we have a new body? We have a couple more. So we have this style, this style, so this is 731, and I think we had this 688. Yep, so we can go for this. 546, this one is tiny. 676. Although this has a bit of a longer wheelbase. This one hasn't. Well, only slightly. That's a torpedo style, I think, is that called? 657, but also small. So this had 688. So this is smaller. This has a larger wheelbase. This also, so that's something to earmark, I think, that the next Touring gets a larger wheelbase for these new bodies. 724, so that's a bit larger. It's just a minor overhaul, sometimes simply keeping the body. We are conservative. So they don't really care about safety, so I wouldn't expect this to do anything. No, it doesn't. Interior quality doesn't do anything, despite them apparently loving luxury. But no. Performance? No. So then this is nice. 718. That's I think a little bit more expensive. Yeah. But of course much better components. Okay. So that's the new 5 Touring. 4 months. And then we hopefully have produced enough that we can make a reasonably affordable pickup truck. So new 5 sells extremely well. So we need to put more into production. Everything else is great. Contracts, nothing here. So certainly is full, so we have to put the 5 sedan to production in Melbourne as well. We're getting a new factory in 7. Okay, that works. So no missed sales. Can we make less 8 sedans? Rest is fine. Next month I can start sunsetting the touring. That basically means 120 or so production. Yeah, simply can cut 2 production lines. This new factory in 5. So touring is gone. Could have made a bit more, but anyway. 240 sedans. So that's what? 40 less. So the old 5 touring goes away. The new 5 touring is here, 256. So we can make it more expensive because we don't have the production capacity for 4 months. So that's then 1595. So that's now more expensive than the 2-seater. And discontinue the old one. And then start work on the pickup truck. So not modifying the components simply because they would just get more expensive, and I don't want that. This is going to be expensive enough. Yeah, 3 speed, so it's because they have to haul a lot. So this is what we have. This is probably too tiny. They want cargo space, obviously. So this has 1,600, a bit less. Same, 1,600 is the other style. 1,500. This is a bit of a meme thing. So this is then fine. So basically taking the existing front and then building this contraption on the back. So they don't care about much. Except cargo space. And power, which we don't really have, but anyway. What we can do is say middle class and make things a bit more cheaper in terms of quality. Cargo focus, probably also dependability, yeah, also dependability. So what I would expect, this goes up to 30, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32 some performance. So I think this is sensible. 12 months, 11 months. This probably doesn't do anything. Not really. Not for anything reasonably priced. Safety? No, they don't care. So then that's it. That's our pickup truck. So this was the 8 pickup. Let's build this. Finished in 11, but with the Sydney redesign, plus we can expand it in 6 months. This is actually almost perfect timing. Very nice. What does the press think? Oh, we haven't asked it about the 8 sedan either, right? No. So we have a bit of reading to catch up on. So Australia should make a full-size sedan that's better than the Alcesti. And the engine struggles to push the full-size sedan. It's built for daily use. It's more than adequate, but not great on the track. Engine lacks any significant power. It's above average in terms of handling. Just enough cushion on the seats and a comfortable steering wheel, so interior is actually fine. Utility space is decent. It's a cheap, poorly made toy. Yeah, so our skills in terms of build quality still leave something to be desired. It's a reliable car. We would trust our dear old grandmother with. That works. They love the fuel economy, so the engine is, I think, mostly nicely balanced. Could have some more power, but fuel economy is great. And it isn't the best on the market, but there are enough features to keep most people's minds at ease. And so overall, the full size is pretty good. The new sedan, and there is the trendy Australia's 5 sedan. It seems to, on paper, to be exactly what you want when purchasing a vehicle in this segment. It's not the fastest sedan, but it's peppy, so the engine is still adequate. I think what we should have considered when we redid the Touring to put the larger engine into the Touring, because if I recall correctly, for the last newspaper they didn't like it, but too late now. They like the handling, can bring a smile on your face whilst still being tame enough to let your child to drive. Don't try this at home. But this probably didn't exist in 1909. Interior was very bare bones. The cargo space is slightly cramped, so next time we have to look for a larger body. We really cut corners when making it. Not good in terms of reliability. Okay, we tried. So again, that's probably our skills not working out. They love the fuel economy. So again, the engine is more on the economical side. And it's impressive in terms of safety without impeding enjoyment. So sedan overall was great. Touring. It's just fast enough to be street legal. Yep, so we could have checked whether they want to have the bigger engine in it. And of course it's weak in terms of torque, but it has good handling. It doesn't win any awards in terms of comfort and luxury, but it barely meets what you need. Not impressed by the cargo capacity. We cut a lot of corners when building it, but it's reliable, it's economical, and it's impressive in terms of safety. Okay, so that works too. So with this reading taken care of, I think it's time to end the episode. So again, hope this was interesting, having our third platform, doing some overhauls, one or two missed opportunities, but nothing big. And so in the next episode, we'll see our redesigned factory come online and have a new car to sale, a pickup truck. So thanks for watching and see you in the next episode.